How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today I'm going to do another quick 10-minute meals, and today's going to be hot wings. The taste of this particular recipe is most similar to Wingstop. It's not breaded because it tends to not get as crispy and it burns more easily, but it tastes crispy nonetheless. This video is brought to you by Moomoo. Get up to 15 free shares of stock just for signing up and depositing various amounts of money. Right now you can get 5.1% APY on uninvested cash as long as you deposit more than $500. Check out my affiliate link down in the video description below and you can help out this channel. So let's get started. I have some organic chicken wings from Costco. You can get any kind that you want, but I find that if you don't freeze them, they actually taste better. However, I freeze them because I buy them in bulk and then you can take them out of the freezer anytime you want and do a quick lunch just like this. Start the timer here, take it out of the plastic packaging, and this costs about $6 or so. Defrost it on 2, which is for chicken. Set it on 3. I'll do this a few times. 0.3 is for 0.3 pounds. And while that is defrosting, we will take out my frying pot. It's a pot. It's pretty old looking because there's a bunch of oil that leaks off the side and it burns, but I keep on using this for frying. I have a canola oil. I find that for this recipe, you can just use any oil. Olive oil, peanut oil. Turn it on. Make sure your pot is completely dry. If you just washed it, you want to turn on the heat until all the water evaporates, because any kind of liquid that's staying out the bottom, it's gonna make your oil splatter a little bit. So I tend to put less oil than I really need. Probably 1 chicken wing would fit on one single layer here. And if this is not big enough, you can actually just fry it 2 times. The oil in the pot I may use for maybe like 3 days in a row. Let me flip that over, do it again. At a restaurant, they would use oil for I don't know how long, probably weeks and weeks, because the stuff doesn't stay in the pot and get burned, so then they can use it a bit longer. When you fry animal products, the oil in there gets rancid after some time, so you don't want to use it for too long. My rule of thumb is around 3 days or so, and then I would discard it. And then before then, you know, I might just leave the oil at room temperature after I filter it, and then I would use it again for like fries, or maybe I would fry other things with it. I have the chicken wing defrosting. At the same time, we want to make the sauce. By the way, this recipe is super simple. I only got 3 or 4 ingredients in it. Chicken wings, butter, hot sauce, and vinegar, and extra spiciness if you want it to be extra spicy. Here we are with the chicken wing. You see it's starting to defrost. We want to defrost it completely so all the ice melts, and we want to drain the ice from this thing. So I'm gonna defrost it a little bit longer. Wash my hand, and let's go get some butter right here. I'm gonna wash the scissors because I cut the chicken package with it. Get a knife, cut 2 tablespoons of butter. That's probably a little bit more than I normally use, but that's all right. Just put it in there. Clean the knife, turn it on high. We're only gonna do this for a little while until it starts melting, and I'm gonna turn it back off. This is a pretty cheap hot sauce, Valentina. Use your hot sauce of choice. Don't get the buffalo kind where it has butter that's built into the sauce, because that's a lot more expensive. Get normal hot sauce, get tilapio, get some artisanal hot sauce, whatever hot sauce that you want. I have over here some habanero. If you like habanero sauce, you could just as well use this, or chipotle pepper sauce. But today I'm gonna just use this one. It's starting to melt. I gotta turn it on low because I don't want to burn this. Actually, you just want it to just melt. So I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's about it. Then I have distilled white vinegar over here. Put in like 2 tablespoons. Right here. It gives it a little bit more acidity and also dilutes it slightly. And then we just mix that up. We don't really have to cook it. We can just turn that off and let the butter melt. And then we take the chicken wing out of the microwave, and you see there's all this water in here. I can still see a little bit of ice in there, so maybe I want to do it another round so that all the ice melts off of the chicken wing. Now you don't need any kind of special fryer, right? I'm just using a pot right here. You also don't need a little temperature probe here. I just want to put this in there so you guys can see what the temperature really is. Right now is on high. You want to stick the chicken wing in at 350 degrees, kind of over. We can just stick it in now. Make sure it's really dry. Just squeeze it a little bit even. Get all the water out, because any water that remains, it's gonna have to fry out. It just takes a little longer and it's gonna splatter a little bit more when you fry it. You can even pat it dry if you want to, but I don't bother. I just kind of squeeze it a bit. Stick it in here. Turn on the vents. I like to put in the drumsticks first because they take a little bit longer to cook. I'm doing it in 2 batches because it just doesn't fit. If you want to do it in 1 batch, it will take more oil. And so this is about conserving oil. We'll put another piece in here just to fill up that hole. So we take a look at this. Look, it's all melted. And this is the sauce. We don't need to do anything more with this. It's ready. And after it goes in the fryer, it remains on high. It'll take roughly about 10 to 15 minutes or so. At this point, you probably want to kind of stir it every couple of minutes or so. Get like a bowl to prepare it, get it ready. I got a strainer over here, and I have this very special like little grabber thing. I bought it in Japan. It gives you a lot more leverage, right? Little piece of tong thing, and you can grab the thing, fling the oil out. You need to grab it with enough force so that the piece of chicken wing doesn't fall out and splash into the oil, right? So I kind of like flick it a lot to get all the oil out. And I guess this is a little bit better, so there's not much oil in whatever food that you're eating. 2 minutes in. At this point, we might want to make a little bit of vegetables. Let's cut that one up. Clean the knife. Put a little bit of salt in there, you know, the usual drill. Just clean the vegetables a little bit. I'm gonna put it in this separate pot here. I'll put this in this pot while the sauce is just sitting there. Close that. Now I have the chicken wing just right there still. That's the second batch. It's been about 5 minutes. You can cook them up to 20 minutes if you want. If you cook them really long, they almost taste like chicken jerky. They're kind of dry on the outside. In a way, it tastes really good. So I prefer to cook them really long and, you know, really crispy, but you don't always have time for that. This is almost done, but since they're drumlets, I want to cook them a little bit longer. I had a friend that would tell me when you take the whatever you're frying out, if it's very done, you can feel that it's crisping so much that it vibrates your chopstick. It really does that when it's like fried really well. So this one, yeah, I can feel it vibrate a little bit. It's been in there about 7 minutes. So it's almost there. I use this grabber and I flick it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you gotta be very careful. You don't like accidentally let it slip in there or it's gonna like push all this oil out, right? So be very careful here. I like to grab these drumlets with the bigger side on top so it's really hard to slip. That. You see all those oil dripping as I'm flinging it, right? Just do it to all of them. Take out any kind of crumbs that's left in there. Put the rest of our chicken wings in. Drop it in from the side. That can even clean a bowl while that is cooking. If you're very efficient about it, it will only take 10 minutes prep time. You walk out of the kitchen for like 10 minutes. It says 20 minutes already. See how my broccoli is super neon green. This is ready. If you leave it covered, it will stay very, very hot and it will overcook your vegetables. So kind of dip these guys in here. Start with the biggest drumlet because it will completely submerge in the sauce. As you're using the sauce, it's gonna get less and less. So you want to put the drumlets, the biggest drumlets in first, roll it around. Almost half of the sauce is used. And now we're ready for the next round. Little bit on frying oil precautions here. Never pour water into it, of course, it's gonna explode. If it catches on fire, cover it, turn off the heat. This is the first batch. Check out this chicken drumlet. The little crispiness around the edges, this is perfect. Super fresh, right out of the fryer. See, look, it's like steaming. So the wings are almost done. I'm gonna turn off the heat. We're gonna do the same thing here. Drain the oil, put the strainer over, covering any kind of splatter from hitting you. It'll hit the strainer instead. If you cover it like this, a bunch of condensation will get on the lid and then drop back down into the oil. This will cause it to splatter a little bit and make a lot of noise. So uncovered, put it aside, and then we want to add the sauce onto the wings. Notice how much sauce I have left. I'm like doing it so that I don't have much left over and you're not wasting much of the butter that's in there. Looks like there's gonna be a little bit of sauce left over though. And when you have that, it's okay because you can just pour it all over afterwards. So there you have it, hot wings at home. Most of these ingredients you have already if you have the frozen chicken wings in your freezer. You have butter all the time, you have hot sauce all the time, bam, right there, chicken wings. Let me show you guys. You hear that crispiness? That's from the chicken skin. Juicy inside, a bit tart from the vinegar. The hot sauce has vinegar already, but adding a little bit of distilled vinegar gives it a little bit more kick. If you want it a little bit spicier, I would add other kinds of hot sauce to it, or you can sprinkle a little bit more cayenne pepper on it to give it more kick. And broccoli, neon green is the way to go. Now, if you want some starch to go with this, microwave some rice if you want to. Thanks for watching this video. Give me a like and subscribe for more.